Welcome to Take Two, the podcast with the Rock 95 Morning Crew. I'm Craig, Brian, MJ. For the past several weeks, we've given you a clue to get into the Rock 95 Birthday Bash. People have been taking advantage of these clues.
Yeah, and I mean, the Birthday Bash is so close now.
Yeah, it is. So we have another one for you, and this is coming up for Monday.
Do you know what that means?
What's that? The last one?
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is the last time.
Because on Friday it will be the Birthday Bash, right? So Monday, November the 4th, you're going to be listening for Money Talks, because that is what we are giving away, money. And
a lot of it.
A lot of it. $20,000 cash at the end of it and $100,000 in trips, cash, and prizes in total. So Money Talks, and we're going to play it right after the 8:30 news. Mm-hmm. So when you hear Money Talks from AC/DC,
the first note.
The first notes. Oh, yeah. That's when you want to call in at 721-ROCK, and if you're the first one to do so, and tell us why you're calling.
And here's another thing. If somebody goes, hey, I'm just going to call during the news, knowing the song's coming, doesn't work.
Not cool. Not cool.
It doesn't work. You have to wait till the song starts.
Right.
Follow the rules.
Follow the rules. All right. So that's Monday, November 4th, right after the 8:30 news. You're listening for AC/DC Money Talks. You call in to the radio station 721-ROCK. You'll get us. You tell us why you're calling. You're going to the Birthday Bash.
Boom.
I got new neighbors.
That's exciting.
Isn't it? So I've talked about this before, how my house next door has been vacant for many, well, I was going to say many, many months, but a year.
Yeah,
and change now.
And it's been drama. There's been
drama with it because I don't know what's going on. They've been in and out and trying to clean it, and it looks like there was a squatter there for some time, and nobody's taking care of it. Nobody's.
As funny as that is, there was a squatter.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He was there. He was just a dude,
but he didn't do anything to the house.
Swimming in their pool, and he had a couple of chicas over,
right, and not cutting their grass or maintaining kind of anything.
Yeah, it was a scene for a while. Anyway, he's gone, and they've moved. There's a young family that moved in, and we had a bit of an issue with a very bad first impression, I would say. Mm-hmm. So what had happened is, they came over, and my wife and I were working in the yard, and my son comes in and says, the new neighbors are here, and they can't get into their house.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, wow. And I could see how that would happen. You know, you got a new place, and maybe you misplaced the key because,
sure,
you don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, and he just goes, and I'm like, well, explain me the situation. And my son just gives up and goes, come. So come talk to them and get me out of this.
Right.
So I go out there, and they're standing there, and I'm like, all right, come to the back. Now, of course, we have a ton of Halloween decorations, so we had to climb all over them, which is nice.
Pardon, just hop over the dead body.
And what? They said, take us to the back?
No, I just said, come to the back and talk to my wife, and we can figure this out. I thought they wanted to come into the back, and then maybe they could get into their gate and then get into their back of their house, and they'd be fine, right?
Yeah.
They come in, and I said to my wife, I said, these are our new neighbors. We shake hands, and I go in there. They're locked out, and they're I think they're Asian, right? So there was a bit of a language barrier there. You know, he spoke broken English, and I don't think she spoke any English at all, to be honest with you. And they couldn't, and we had a tough time understanding them. But they're really nice people. I'm kind of really happy that they're our neighbors, because they're a cute family, and they're quiet, and
they're a family. Honestly, those are check marks too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to us. They're gonna care. They're gonna. Yeah.
It's not the squatter.
Sure, anything's better than that.
Exactly.
So they were nice, and they even brought us, muffins.
No way.
Yeah, which is really cool.
This is out of a movie.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, who does that? Who does that?
You have to bring them muffins when they're the ones.
Is that the rule?
Or a pie or something, right?
Oh, this is a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Good Neighbors, pal.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
That's how you do it.
Well, anyway, I still embarrassed myself anyway, because, eventually they handed us the muffins. I thought, oh, that's very nice. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, let's try to get you into the house. We'll figure out a way. I said, we could take our son and we can, throw him over the fence, and then is your door open? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, maybe. I'm like, okay, well, we could do that. I go, well, why don't we go around to your side, and we'll see if we can figure out a way that way. And we go around, and we have to hop again all over the decorations.
Because do you kind of in your mind go, I know how to break into my own house?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No. Do you?
Growing up, I could break into my
I could
house
totally break into my
easily.
house.
I knew that the basement windows were never locked. Even though they were small, I could fit through. They were never locked. Slide open, no big deal.
And you knew the proper way to like open the screen door if you really had to. Yeah.
So have you had to
that.
break into your own house?
This one
before?
now? No, I could not break into
Yeah.
this house. No.
Yeah, my townhouse, we had to do that for sure. We locked
Yeah.
ourselves out. But this house, we have not done it yet, so we haven't.
So you
had to
don't
do
have
it.
that skill of it. Okay.
Okay.
No. So they asked the wrong person.
But here you are, you're sizing up their place
Yeah.
and coming up with a way to get in.
Showing them every way you can break into their
Well,
home.
I'm going to tell you how I embarrassed myself coming up in just a moment because.
Did you moon them getting into the mirror?
Did I moon them?
Did you?
Is that what you asked?
Accidentally, as you were, maybe you were squeezing through a window and you accidentally moved them or
Muffins to
something.
mooning.
We'll be back. I'll continue the story in a moment. Take two. All right, welcome back to Take Two with the Rock 95 Morning Crew. All right, so I talked about how I embarrassed myself from my neighbors because I thought they locked themselves out of the house, and then I was kind of trying to figure out a way in through the back because they were kind of my son actually came to me and told me this information that he was told to by them. When we decided to go around and get to the front of the house. And,
Do you want to rule out mooning right now? Just because
Well,
MJ,
there was-
MJ was wondering if mooning is how you embarrassed yourself.
I was picturing like Craig is like Winnie Pooh stuck in the honey tree. I was trying to get
Okay,
her through
yeah,
the window.
fair enough.
Is it fair enough?
Winnie the-
Where's your head at?
I get to their front of their house. They have an electronic lock, so that it's got keypads and stuff. So I
Right.
said to my wife,
Which should be perfect for ever being locked out.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And my wife is like, "Oh, that's easy. All you have to do is call them and get your code changed, and then you can get in." And
Right.
then as she's doing that, I push open their gate, and the gate's open. I'm like, "Oh, well, you can get to your backyard."
Yeah.
And then they go, "Okay," and they follow us into the backyard. And we're standing there, and then my wife looks at the kitchen window and goes, "Well, what about this? This is a big window. Maybe this is open." And sure enough, it is. The screen slides open, the window slides open, there's a big hole. And she says, "We can just prop my son and throw him in there, and then
Yeah.
he can unlock your door and problem solved." And they go, "Well, why do you want to do that?" And I'm like, "What's going on? What, to get you in your
get in.
house?" And he goes, "I can get into my house." And I'm like, "You can?" "Yeah, we're not locked out." I'm like, "What?"
What?
I'm like, "What do you mean you're
What
not
are you
like that?"
talking
Yeah.
about?
So my son misinterpreted what they were doing. They came up to say, "We brought over the muffins. You're not home." And for some reason, my son interpreted that as, "We're locked out.
We can't
get
get in
into
our
my
We
house.
can't get into our home."
Oh, my Lord.
And so I even said to him, I go, "So you're just here to bring us muffins?" "Yeah."
And
this was-
all three of you
Yeah.
of your household are standing there.
Yeah, trying to figure out how
Are
to
you
get it.
all cluing in at the same time?
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
Oh my God! How
Did they
embarrassing!
immediately put up a for sale sign back
It's funny you say that. I joked about that.
Oh,
This is
no.
a span of 20 minutes of us trying to get into their house, and they're probably thinking all along the way, "What are these guys doing?"
Who are these crazy
And they're probably
people?
thinking that we're scouting their home in order to
Yeah.
rob it when they're not around.
Wow.
So then I had to backtrack and I had to make good on everything, right? I had to say, "Wow, that's embarrassing. I'm so sorry. So sorry for the miscommunication. If you need anything, I'd love to, lend you my lawnmower."
You've done enough, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
Can we have our muffins back?
Listen to Craig, Brian, and MJ, the Rock 95 Morning Crew on Barrie's Rock Station, Rock 95.